Right, and we are live. Tate Roskelley, what's up, dude?
Just hanging out.
We're here. We did it. We made it. We're live. And how's life, man? It's been a minute.
Life's been good. No complaints. Just as busy as always. I got a kid on the way, so trying to just ride as much as I can because I know that's going to change a little bit. The little youngin running around for a little while. I mean, I'll always ride, but
Yeah.
you've seen it with your with our friends that have kids. I was talking to Tristan Cooper, who just had a kid a while ago, and he's just like, "Yeah, you might not ride as much, but when you do, it feels that much better." So keeping that in mind with it all.
Yeah, when Sponge had a kid, it went from like, I have these days to ride to, hey, I'm going to be at the park for an hour. Can you be like, are
Yep.
you, are you good?
We were there at 8 a.m.
Yeah. Are you stoked?
Yeah, oh yeah, yep. My wife and I, we both wanted kids. We're getting up there in age. I won't say just how old, but getting to that point where it's kind of now or never.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we pulled the trigger. We're going for it.
You'll literally.
I do know it's going to be a boy, though. Not to say girls can't ride, but should have a little riding buddy here soon. As soon as we can get him on two wheels,
Yeah,
if
dude.
that's what he's into.
That's gonna be sweet once it gets to that point. Like it'll affect riding, and then once you get to the point where you can like go out together, you'll
Oh yeah,
probably end up being able to ride more.
I hope so. I'm planning on it at least.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. I'm glad you got lots of good stuff going on in life.
Yeah, thank you. How about yourself? What's new with you?
I mean, it's more of just trying to do every single thing possible within like the BMX world, just like the same as always, except more.
Yep.
You
At
like
least you love it, right?
you get comfortable where you're at, and then you're like, all right, now what can I do? Like,
Oh yeah,
and just
that's a good way to live life right there, man. Absolutely.
yeah.
Keep on piling more shit on your plate, I guess. At the end of the day.
Well, you just make your plate bigger.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
think that's the way. Well, to an extent,
We'll
right?
figure out how to make more than 24 hours in a day, and then you'll be really onto something there.
Yeah, right. Um, so part of the reason I wanted to chat with you was because you have a new signature complete bike.
Yes, we do. The GT Tate Roskelley Complete comes equipped with a mag wheel, of course. It wouldn't be my bike without a mag wheel.
Uh huh.
And they sent me one out a few months ago to shoot a promo and stuff like that. And I actually kind of have it in the collection. I ride it here, what I mean? It's got brakes and stuff like that. And I decided to leave the brakes on it,
Yeah.
trying to learn some ramp more kind of stuff and failing horribly. But
Ha.
it's just fun to have a bike with brakes and just cruise around. And
Yeah.
it handles really good. So I mean, for any entry level kid out there, I'd say definitely look into it if you like mag wheels or my riding or just a good complete general all in all or
Yeah.
general complete.
Yeah. How's that make you feel? Have a complete BMX bike.
It feels pretty crazy actually. I was trying to explain it to some people at work, and they were just like, "Wait, it's your bike, and kids can buy it?" And I was like, "Yeah." They were mind blown. Obviously, when you're in BMX for a while, it's kind of a normal thing for the signature kind of stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think when I see a kid riding down the street or I see somebody with it down the line, that's when it'll hit me of like, "Whoa, that's really crazy."
Dude, that's gonna be wild because when you think about it, like, how many professional like basketball or football players get a ball, with their name on it or something like that? Like, we as BMX riders at like the highest level get an entire bike or frame or
That is
whatever.
that is a good way to look at it. I've never really thought of it like that. So
It's a pretty awesome achievement to like get to that point. And like, did you ever
yeah.
dream of having a bike or think that you would or
No,
anything?
I mean like having a signature frame was really cool, but then when it's like the whole bike and the kid can just take it out of the box and it actually looks like the bike I ride
Mm-hmm.
and Ben and those guys killed it with the graphics. It's got like milk crates on it and basketballs and just all the kind of things I'm known for riding, so the graphics look good, and just the mag wheel looks sick on it. I love the way mag wheels look on bikes, and so yeah, I think it's kind of has a selling point. I think the mag's kind of just different enough to maybe hopefully persuade some kids to be like, I want that one, you know?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, it's literally not a single other real BMX bike has a mag on it that you can buy.
Yeah. And crate sold separately, I must say,
That
but
would
you can
be
find it behind any grocery store. So get the complete bike, find a crate, and report back to me out there, people.
so last time we chatted, we manifested the signature mag wheel into a whole complete bike. Now GT needs to do a crate with GT BMX on the side of it.
I'll call Ben as soon as we're off this call. I'll get
Yeah.
Ben and Z on the phone and be like, hey guys, we've got it figured out.
Well, and like, dude, I mean, when I found that milk crate that I was messing with, that that became like a thing to put essential stuff in my car. It's like a good,
Oh yeah,
it's a great thing
hold
to
your
have.
racks and all the random things you have to make the trick work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
However, it's a punishable by $2,500 law to have a milk crate in your possession or something like that. Did you
not
know
if
say
it's a
that?
GT BMX milk
Well,
crate.
yeah, of course. I'm just saying, if you find one behind the grocery store,
Listen,
look
GT,
both ways before you.
if you guys
Let's just
don't,
solve that too. Yeah, you get the GT crate, you're legit, you're legal,
yeah, the last
good to
thing they
go.
want is you to be like, "Hey guys, I finally got busted. I need a, I need a little bit, I need help here to pay this that couple grand." Oh my
My
god,
local dairy sued me for years worth of damage on their crate supply.
that's a YouTube video if I ever. Uh, but how involved were you with like the process of the bike?
um, Ben and Z kind of surprised me a little bit. They're like, "Hey, you're getting a complete bike, you know that?" And I was kind of like, "Whoa, what?" And this was a little ways out, and so yeah, over the months leading up to it, they asked for input. We used some graphics. We used some other projects that are just right up my alley. So the graphics
Mm,
are right there. There's a note crate right on the head tube, which looks great. And so yeah, from the ground up, definitely had my input on things. Those guys wanted kids to actually get something that's directly related to what I'm into and what I like, and
yeah,
hopefully it conveys, which I know it will. It
right.
does.
It's GT's always done a great job with like complete bikes for their
Oh yeah.
riders. Just even throughout like going as far as doing those videos that they did where they sent the team to like a totally other city and they
Just build
had
the completes.
yeah, they
Yep.
literally built up their complete bikes and had to ride those for a whole video. It's freaking cool.
Yeah. No, they're built great. Like I don't know like how the lower end completes work, but as far as mine, it's I mean for your any average beginner up to intermediate, I haven't been able to break it yet or anything like that, and I'm known for doing some weird things to bikes, and it's holding up just fine for me. So
Right. Yeah, dude. That is it like sitting right there.
you know what? It's actually in the garage. I should have had it ready to go.
Oh,
I got home from work and I got jumped right onto this. So
that's okay. No worries. Uh yeah, man. I'm so pumped for you and that you're just because that's like a big deal.
yeah, like I said, I think it's really gonna settle in when I see some kids out there shredding on it. So anybody watching this, if you do get a clip on it, please send it my way. I'd love to see that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. I can't wait to see that too. I mean, you're gonna probably find that people are like doing Tate Roskelley tricks on the Tate Roskelley
I
bike.
I could only hope.
That's so
Could
rad.
only hope.
That's so rad. Are you guys working on any type of like video stuff to come along with its release or anything
So
that you
we,
can
we
talk about?
shot we shot the promo. Hang on here.
Oh,
We still there?
yeah, you're good.
Okay, sorry. I think somebody tried to call me there. So yeah, we shot the promo. That was up on my Instagram, and I think it's on like
Hmm.
the GT web, YouTube and stuff like that. But I'm still kind of freestyling. I'm doing a lot of stuff, just putting it right onto Instagram right now. The older I get, the busier I get. It's kind of like nice to keep the control of like I can't always meet up with the same filmer for
Mm-hmm.
the time being. Like some of my favorite guys to film with, we both work full-time jobs, so we're not lining up. So I do have some ideas from the projects we're going to get started here, hopefully soon. But for the last few months, man, I've just kind of been putting it all on Instagram, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's an argument for that.
I
It,
mean, there's a lot of eyeballs out there on Instagram and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
what did I just see? I just saw a stat today. I think it was that there's 2 billion active users on Instagram or something crazy like that. I swear I just saw that.
No, I totally believe it, and that's probably at all times, right?
Yeah, something like that. I'm not entirely.
Huh,
Yeah, Instagram. Oh, that was last year it even happened.
that's just
Instagram
crazy
surpasses
now.
2 billion monthly users.
Jeez, how many people in the on planet Earth? Like 7 billion.
Yeah, I think
Jeez.
something along those lines. Yeah. So like there's definitely an argument to be made for, I mean, posting stuff on Instagram is going to get the immediate attention of people.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes my ideas are so dumb and out there that for some reason Instagram likes it. So like, I've had a lot of videos do really, really, really good, and they kind of argue like, I don't know if you get that on YouTube. I mean, I know you can hit the YouTube algorithms just right. Not that it matters, but it's getting the GT bike out there, getting my name out there. Got to be happy with it, you know.
Right. And I mean, as this is a great conversation to have, just because as a BMX rider, you know what it's like to work on something that's a more extended project, and you also know what it's like to film stuff for Instagram. And I think
Sure.
in the day and age we're in, like the ideal pro does all of it.
Yeah, and it is. I mean, it's hard to do all of it too. Well,
Right.
there's people doing it, but like I've always been the kind of guy. There's no way I could film for more than one project at a time. Like I kind of have to be all in on one. I know there's a lot of dudes out there that are filming for two different video parts with two different companies,
Mm-hmm.
and I have a lot of respect for that. I could never do that. Um,
Yeah.
so I'm kind of a one-track mind. I have to have all my little ideas in the right place at the right time and save the new ideas for, you know what I mean? It'd be hard to do more than that. But
There's something to be said for the types of things you do too. I mean,
yeah,
we're
and most
talking.
of them take me 2 days to film. So
Yeah, how long did the frickin' drop the wheel ping pong around? Like,
oh, that was the second day back. And
jeez.
God bless my friends. They're the ones that deserve all the credit for that. It was Cam Wood, Mike Mastroni filmed it. EJ Dorian, our friend out here, he on the second day we went back was standing because that thing. Well, let me back up. So the first day we went there, each time I didn't land that, I had to fill that tire back all the way up there
Oh my god.
because it's a dam. And it would take like 5 minutes to walk it around up there. So I was heaving that up there, and so like it actually like I was my shoulders were actually kind of bad, so I was heaving with my legs each time, and then Mike started helping me. We were switching off every time, and so the first day didn't work. I don't know how it didn't work because I got close like
Mm-hmm.
15 times, just right in and right out. I was so frustrated. And then we went back the second day. EJ was the middleman on that, and that day Cam couldn't make it, so my friend Jeff Walker was up top. And so we had a system where I could throw it to EJ, and he could throw it up to Jeff at the top. So that helped out immensely. But then the second day, I really wasn't getting that close because like the wind conditions had changed, and I was kind
Mm-hmm.
of blowing it a little weird every time. And I was kind of almost like I felt like I can try any trick for as long as it takes.
Yeah.
I love it, but I hate making people film me or help me with some dumb idea. But they all stuck with me, and we got that one that worked. So I think what was it, 300 something tries, and yeah, 2 days worth of
346.
3 days worth of trying on that one.
Dear God.
That one felt nice.
You needed a rope.
Yeah, no, that I considered bringing it back, and then the second day we went to film, it kind of just worked out because that spot's about 40 minutes out of Salt Lake,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit of a hike to get in there, and it just happened to work out that everybody was down to go check it out, and I was just like, oh, thank God, I got another swing of this, and it just worked out perfect. Even though at the beginning of it, I was kind of like, this, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this today because it was just getting all blown around and stuff like that, but
Yeah. That.
we got it. Oh, and
That's.
then the funny thing about that is, I had a lot of people reach out to me, especially people that didn't ride, that were convinced that it was photoshopped, which I promise you it wasn't. I do not have that kind of, and I guess I kind of took it as a compliment. I ran into a guy. We were out in San Diego with my wife's family out there, and ran into a guy that recognized me or whatever, and he's just like, "Was that video like he was convinced it was fake?" I was like, "No, man, it was real." And I showed him like some of the outtakes of it's not landing, and it's like, I don't know if he was mind blown that was real or mind blown that he thought it was fake and it was real. It was just kind of one of those funny things. So,
That is hilarious.
hey, here's something I got to ask you. I've seriously considered this.
Yo.
You know how like everybody's getting better at Photoshop and things are going crazier? Do you ever think there's going to be a line where people don't believe like crazy tricks? And how
Um.
close are you to that?
I. Yeah. Pretty far.
You think we're pretty far still?
Yeah. It would have to be somebody who's like the on par with like movie editors,
Okay.
like CGI movie editors, because the thing with riding a bike and being a BMX rider is that like we understand the physics of it.
Sure.
Think about it like a BMX video game. Like once a BMX video game is to the level of like you can't tell the difference between it and reality without really looking close, then
That's
we'll
where you
be
got to
there.
start worrying.
Yeah, because I mean, you have stuff like what Scotty and those guys did with the green screen kicker and whatever,
Yeah.
which I think that's more of like a what's going on rather than
Sure.
like there's not like a trick happening that you're like that might be fake. Like whatever's happening is just hard to understand because of a green screen kicker.
Yeah, it really does kind of make me wonder if we'll ever get to that point where nobody will know what's real anymore.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, how many years ago did they do that thing with Garrett where it made it look like he had no arms?
That's a great point. Yeah, so I don't know.
God, I'm just trying to think of like the amount of time that it would take to go in and like do something like that would just be crazy.
I'm sure there's people out there that do. I mean, look at us. We're out there trying to film clips for
Dude.
8 hours at a time. So who knows? I'm sure there's some guy eating Doritos, photoshopping some cool shit too. Who knows?
For real. I mean, I literally sat at the skate park the other day with a yo-yo. like,
Oh yeah, we were talking about that a little bit last time, I think.
like, well, you did it. Somebody rigged up the wheel yo-yo idea.
Sure.
But I like realized, oh, dude, you could do like a real actual yo-yo trick, like with a yo-yo, and that just felt funny, because just imagining what it looks like to other people, like this guy's going up on this frame.
I'm working on a trick right now. It's we've had pretty crappy weather the last few days in Salt Lake, and
Yeah.
on my days off, I ride no matter what, pretty much. So I've been in some parking garages trying to get some new ideas. I'll send you the video when we get off this.
Okay.
But to anybody that sees me, and I know some people have walked by and it's been like, "What is this guy doing?" But I probably look like a crazy schizophrenic dude over in the corner of the parking garage. I'll send you the video, and it's just like to somebody that doesn't know what I do, and I'll just send it to you. But I probably look like a complete kook.
Dude, the freaking gate with the seat backwards thing,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that I saw you do that and I was like, oh my god, it's genius.
Yeah. I'm trying to think how that idea. Do you ever have ideas and you can't? I really don't know because Mastroni, Cam Wood, and I had this idea kind of to do that, and then we found that gate and it was too high,
Mm-hmm.
and I can't remember if I thought of it or Cam said it, but I was just like, oh, turn the seat around, and it clamps in there perfectly.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things. So like, I might get down with some more backward seat ideas down in the future. You know,
Dude,
we'll
I'm
keep you
freaking
posted.
thinking about that stuff. Like, there's got to be more. I mean, immediately, I can think of one thing that could be possible, but it's just like, oh, dude, so many possibilities. Yeah.
Have you seen the seat spin
Yeah.
contraptions?
Yeah.
So they sent me one,
Nice.
and I've been playing around with it a little bit, but I was actually thinking like you could do like a seat spin and then like catch it like that or something like that.
Uh,
So I don't want to give too many of my ideas away, but you know, we'll chat.
yeah.
There's some possibilities there.
Yeah. I had some stuff written down too. Just random ideas. I honestly kind of like got out of that a little bit. I got like sucked into the technicality of tricks again more than just like trying to go outside the box with other stuff.
I think it comes in waves, sort of, right?
Yeah.
You kind of That's kind of how I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how I work,
I mean,
and I'm sure you're pretty similar to that kind of stuff too.
yeah, that whole yo-yo thing didn't come until I remembered about doing this with you again last week, and then it was like,
Oh
ding.
yeah,
I mean, you know how it is. These ideas seemingly come from nowhere.
oh always 100%.
Like, I'm convinced some crazy stuff's going on where we're like connected with the universe and
Um,
weirdness.
I think there's things that you can do and practice that like make you maybe a little more open
Mm-hmm.
if you kind of know. And I'm not the only one that knows this, but like I think there's some things you can do that at least make you a little more open to when it pops into your head. Because like sometimes the best idea will pop in your head and like right out if you don't actually take it serious. You know what I mean? Or
Yep.
if you're trying too hard, it's not going to work. I think just kind of getting in that zone of where you are open and putting the time in to let it happen, because you know how you can't make it happen, it just kind of happens.
Right. Right. And it's like the weirdness of how some things line up. Like, I'm sure you've had situations where you're trying to trick and like it just randomly like happens all at one time, and it's like you feel it coming and then it just does.
Yeah. Do you ever do this? Like sometimes I will something that I've been trying forever, I'll like film it and I'll land it, and as soon as I watch the footage back, I kind of can't remember what it felt like to land it. I'm like, I don't even remember. It's almost like I kind of blacked out, and I can remember the 50 tries of like getting close, but I almost forget what it feels like to actually land it. Do you ever have that happen?
Man, I
It's
feel like my
kind of
brain
weird. I
just skips the whole thought of what it feels like to land it anyways.
don't. maybe
No, I'm
maybe
just
I'm just more used to not landing things. That's probably what it is.
oh, I no, I think I just go at things for so long and I'm so exhausted that it's just like, oh my god,
Yeah,
finally.
yeah,
There's a fine line between like trying something and landing it quickly and being like, "Oh, that was awesome," and then it
yep.
turn. There's a line where at a certain point it turns into work,
Oh yeah, and
and
then it turns into relief when you're not even you're
exactly.
stoked, but you're more relieved sometimes until like a lot of the times, when I get a good clip, it kind of doesn't even settle in till like the next day. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
mentally toast, and I'm usually like trying to buy the film or a beer or something for, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it's not till the next day, like, oh, that was actually really cool. Like I mean, I'm stoked, and I know we'll be stoked down the line, but sometimes it takes a day to like actually be like disassociated and like, oh, that's really freaking cool.
Is your stuff so technically difficult and like impossible that you can't be too much of a perfectionist because like once it happens, or like are you like, oh, it's got to be right. If it's not completely right when I'm rolling away, I got to do it again.
I would say and this is my writing, so it's usually something really weird that I can't necessarily. It's not like I'm doing a tabletop that I can compare to other people.
Mm-hmm.
But when I have an idea that I'm like really standing behind, and if I'm on try 200 and I get it and I know it can be just a little bit better, I just could never let myself put that idea out without it being as good as I think it could be.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll always just, I want to get it better. So I would say I err on the side of make it look good.
Yeah. I mean,
Because it's a lot of times it's like once you put it out, that idea is out there. So it's like,
yeah.
I'm putting it out there. It's got to be how I see it,
Oh, definitely. And it's so much more of a feel-based thing to yourself than anything
Oh,
else.
yeah.
Like, that didn't feel right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, when it doesn't feel right, most people can see that it didn't quite feel right.
Oh, yeah.
But then there's been times, though, like, I know you've done this, like, you get it, you land it, you don't think it's good enough, you film for another 2 hours, land it one or two more times, and then when you finally separate yourself from that idea like we were talking about, and you get home and you're watching it, you're like, oh, the first one was better.
Dude,
I
got two of these that are perfect examples. One was the yo-yo thing. Just the other day, doing the yo-yo trick and ice pick. It was Victoria's birthday, so like I only have until she gets home to land this trick because we're going out to dinner in another town. Like I have to leave, and I get it, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know if I liked how that was. I didn't do the yo-yo thing, and then so I'm like, all right, I got 10 more minutes, and I went at it for longer than I should have, only to not get it and watch the first one and be like, oh my god, like that was fine. And that's the one that I posted. It was
Yeah.
But
I don't know. I personally, although that happens, like all those other tries that you didn't land it, but kept trying afterwards, like you're still just getting better at riding a bike. You know what I mean? And like training your mind, training your body. So like, other than the filmer's sake, it never hurts to like give it your all. You know what I mean?
Dude.
And if you're around the right people that like, which I think both you and I are, the friends are going to be there to help you out. So always keep trying.
Right. Well, dude, the other example was the bottle cap challenge that I did.
Yes. Yeah.
I did it twice. The first one happened in less than 10 tries. And then I spent literally like 4 more hours. And it was July 4th. Like, doing it again, only to have the first one be the one that I liked better in post after literally 4 hours of someone standing there holding the bottle. Like, God.
But at least, like, looking back, you know that you know now. You know what I mean? Like, because I'd rather not always be like, oh, I could have done it better, but brutally put myself through however much longer it takes to be like, well, that's as good as I can do it. That's that,
Yeah, I mean, it's always better to know than to wonder.
Absolutely.
100%. I mean, would you say, oh, this is a good one. Would you say that, what's the ratio of ideas that don't work to work? Doesn't have to
I don't know, because like I have different tiers of ideas. Like sometimes I get an idea that I just cannot get out of my head that I'm like, and usually those ones that won't go away come into fruition or slightly mold into another idea, but it's still kind of that same idea. But I would say 10%. And maybe I'm not considering ideas that I'm like briefly thinking about and I'm shut down. So
yeah,
that's it. Yeah, I don't know, because you know how many, like, when I'm riding, when I'm on my bike, I'm in that mode of like, all right, let's see what we can make here. And I'm sure I get thousands of ideas riding around, and it's only those ones that kind of stick to my head that I actually even remember. So
yeah,
maybe it's like 0.1%. I don't even know.
Yeah, I guess that's a hard thing to quantify, but it's definitely a very small thing. But the whole tricks morphing into other things aspect is like,
oh yeah,
that is all of it. I mean, I would say most of the things that I've done were going to be something else, and then they molded themselves into.
Oh yeah, 100%. I don't know. It's rare to have an idea that just kind of like, this is the idea and it works out 100%. You know what I mean? Like there's always a little something you have to tweak most of the time.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
Not always.
shit! I had an idea that I gotta write down.
Case in point, right there.
Yeah, this is like, you
Here's
know
a few
how
of
it
mine.
is.
I'm old school though. I can't put ideas in my phone. I have to write them down.
Well,
I'm weird.
dude, I don't actually. I'll just turn off the background. Uh, I have, because of the new notes in the iPhone. I just, I just make lists. Those aren't all trick ideas. It's like YouTube videos and all kinds of other
Sure.
stuff. But it's so easy to just type it in and have a list, and you can, the satisfaction of checking it off when you're done is like, oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, but the satisfaction of putting a fat line through your to-do list on your notepad is better,
Listen.
in my opinion. Oh, and he's got the notepad too.
Where are we at? I mean, I got these too. I don't even know where they're at. There you go. 40 ice picks for 40K. Like, checking those off as you're doing them.
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
Read me one random one off there.
Oh.
See if I can remember.
Okay. A random ice pick one? Well, this one is, like, kind of different because this was just single variations and not combos. Just like stuff like candy bar, crossfoot, no foot can bar. It's not like anything.
Imagine somebody that doesn't ride, if like your notepad's blew away, somebody picks it up and they're just like, what in the hell is this?
What does that mean?
I think I have some old trick lists here. Let me look in the old filing cabinet. I saved some of them.
Oh boy, I'm excited for this.
What we got here?
I got some a list of pun ice picks, like ice. Oh, what's a good one? Break the ice. Things like that. Trying to figure out ways to put a saying into a trick.
Sure.
Oh,
here we go.
oh boy.
So these were finer things. So this must have been when I was stolen for finer things.
Wow. This is
Superbike under a rail into stairs. I know what clip that was. Tree grind by the U. I have no clue what that is. Drop in a point of the mountain. I didn't do that. I got there and it scared me. Orange cones point at the mountain. No idea. Elevator dropping at the Avs. I didn't step it out, and I was like, do or die. Gutter ball down the alley in the Avs. Remember that one when I slid my tire sideways through that alley and Mike filmed it on the skateboard?
Yeah.
That's one of my all-time favorite clips. Just the way it was filmed and everything.
Dude.
And then, oh man, we could really waste some time with all these.
Oh, I don't think it's wasted at all.
Crate
This is
slide
awesome.
180 to Sweeney gate transfer of 4,500 south.
Bro. Combine the crate in the backward seat.
Ooh, all right. That'd actually be relatively
Easy.
very plausible, I would say, yeah.
If you find the right height gate, you just freaking do it. Can we just talk for a second about how you like killed yourself dropping in on a slide?
Yeah.
Like where's the mindset there of like what would come after it?
Okay. So here's the deal. We let's see, Mastoni, Cam, and I, we just did like an overnight trip to Idaho Falls.
Yeah.
And so we go up there. We rode the day that we got there. Rode the next day. Mike and Cam were killing it, getting stuff. I was striking out. I didn't get a clip, and I was like, you know how it is. We were on our way home, and on the way there, we passed this crazy slide, which was a slide, and we all joked about like, oh, somebody's gonna drop into that. And so I hadn't got any clips, and I was kind of just like, like dang it, kind of mad. And we decided to pull off and check it out. And so we pull off, and we're walking around. Turns out that it's like way bigger than it looked like on the side of the road. And I went up to the top and looked at it, and I was kind of like, I don't know. And came back down to the bottom, and I was just kind of like, "Josh, should I do it? Is it worth it? Will it even look as cool as it actually is?"
Yeah.
And this and the we couldn't tell if the park was abandoned or not. The slide wasn't in operation. We couldn't tell.
Mm-hmm.
And so this guy pulls up in like a big 4x4 truck, and I was like, "Oh man, this dude's gonna like kick us out of here and be all pissed and shit." Turns out he's like the coolest dude ever. And I'm just like, "Hey, what would you feel about me riding down that slide?" And he's like, "No way. I'm too dangerous. Not going to do it." And he was trying to tell me that my tires needed to be knobby so I wouldn't slide off and die. And I was like, "No, I'm going to be going straight, dude. I feel pretty confident." And I think I even dropped, like, "I never do this." But I was like, "Dude, just so you know, I'm a professional. Like,
Oh yeah.
I'm being serious here." And he was kind of reluctant, but I was like, "Come on, one take." And I knew I wasn't going to do it more than once. He's like, "All right, one take." And I just went up there with the bike, and I got up there. And I knew going up, I was like, if I look at this for more than 30 seconds, I'm not going to do that. So Mike, Cam, and that dude all just mounted up with their phones out. And I got up to the top, and I was just like, oh, what did I just get myself into? And you can't tell in that video. It's kind of hard to tell, but like the distance from where I got to the bottom of that slide to where that tree is like a long way. I just didn't think I was going to be going that fast. And so as soon as I dropped into that, I got halfway. And if you watch the clip carefully, you can hear me. I think I said like, "Oh my God," like out loud as I was going down it. Cause like halfway down, I was like, "I'm not stopping." Like,
right.
And there's no way to test it either. Cause the slide was too steep to get into the side. So it was like do or die. So the other thing that messed me up was that little bump that I caught air off of. I was planning on speed pumping that a little bit and like just getting my foot in the tire as quick as I could. But I didn't account, like I was kind of pulling G's when I got to the bottom of that slide. So I was getting pulled into my bike. So I really couldn't like suck it up because I was like getting pushed down.
Yeah.
And as soon as I hit that little thing, it's kind of hard to tell, but I probably jumped like 15 to 20 feet, like low, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then by then I was just like, I got to ditch this or I'm going straight to this tree. And it ended up being like perfect as far as like best case scenario.
Yeah, dude.
But I don't know. Oh, actually, I put the aftermath in the latest compilation I posted, but like ripped the.
Oh, I saw that.
Messed up. I couldn't ride for maybe 2 weeks after that. Like leg just swollen up.
Wow.
Didn't break anything, but like the road rash was so big, and it was so swollen that it was just like the most tender, like, so even just like riding off a curb, like killed, you know what I mean? So, but I would still say it was worth it. It was like one of the craziest adrenaline rushes I've had in a long time. It was, I went from thinking I was dead to like, holy shit, I'm alive kind of thing, you know?
Dude, that is legitimately one of the craziest things. That is no short slide, and you did it brakeless.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
and then the guy that watched us do it, he didn't realize till later that there was no brakes on my bike either. So like, I really don't think he would have been down with it. But
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that dude, he's from Twin Falls. Oh, I can't remember my name or his name. I got it on my phone, which I'm using for Skype.
Did you tag him?
Yeah. Yep.
Trevor,
yes. Ended up being the coolest dude. Invited us to come back, so we're gonna go back up there to that water slide sometime. And
bring brakes.
Yeah, we'll bring some brakes, but I don't think anybody's gonna be riding down that slide again. At least I'm not.
Dude, yeah.
So,
Holy I rode down a slide, but I had brakes.
Honestly, even if you had brakes in that, I don't think it would have been that big of a difference. I think you would have just, I don't know. I still think you would have.
Well, it would have been holding them on the way down to not be going as fast at the bottom.
I still think you'd be going, it's like, you can kind of tell in that, but like that slide was steep. So
oh yeah, you could
even
really
if you're on your brakes, I don't think it would slow you down quite as much as you think it might. It would help a little bit, but you'd still be cooking.
Yeah, dude, that's insane. The one I did, it had like a bend in the middle, so I literally just held the brakes the entire time.
Sure.
And going off the bottom of it, I mean, I was flying and flew into the weeds past it. It was like nothing compared to what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing too is like looking back, if I would have got a clip before we left Idaho Falls, like that spot's a little outside Idaho Falls, like no way would I have done that. I would have been like, nah, I'm good. I got a clip. But it was just
Right.
like the perfect like storm of like, I really wanted to get a clip. We were already running late. I knew we were going to get home late. So I was like, I'm going to be so mad at myself if I don't just do this on the way home. And then my wife wasn't too happy with it, as you could tell.
I can imagine.
We had a nice bloody bed sheets for about 3 weeks after that. Not the smartest thing to do with the kid on the way, but hey,
Hey,
we're
you're
BMX.
alive. You made it.
Yeah, exactly. I knew I was going to do that.
You gotta save your bike now, man. You gotta.
Yeah, the funny thing, like Mike and I was seriously like, dude, I don't think this clip is going to look as crazy as it really is. But I also didn't expect to come flying out of the end of it like that. So
Yeah.
I ended up being happy with it.
Yeah, man. That. Oh, when we were talking about the bounce thing, the freaking Team Weed edit on
Oh,
that was
who did that?
amazing.
Like nobody, I don't know who it was, but I gotta take my hat off to him. That was amazing.
Yeah, I gotta show that too in here.
That
Just,
was.
oh my god, it's so perfect.
I uh I was really surprised by the second part too, when the tire goes off the other side. Because I was like laughing, like, "Oh, they got me good," and then like the tire went off the other side, and
Oh my god, I didn't
how
even
they made
see
it look
that.
like, and I was just like, "Oh, they got me twice." And
Dude,
I talked to that kid. That kid hit me up, the kid that originally had the wheel break off,
yeah.
and he was pretty. I don't. That kid's crazy. Whatever he was trying off that. Well, obviously he was trying the bar spin, but like heavy move on that dude's part.
No doubt. Dude, I literally didn't even see the second part of it until you said that and I kept
Yeah,
watching.
it's the second part that really had me busting up. Just like, oh, I thought they were. It was, yeah.
Well, that's just like
Fine work, team lead. Fine work.
uh one of the principles of animation. I know this is like a weird thing to bring up. A principle of animation is surprise. Like so
Sure.
at the like if you apply those elements to BMX type stuff, that is like a perfect representation. My god, it's funny.
They got me good.
Yeah, dude.
Or did they get me, or did they get the homie that broke his bike? I don't know who. I think they got everybody with that one.
Yeah, that was just yeah, too good. Um,
Hopefully, it becomes a thing. Like whenever somebody's wheel breaks, I'm lurking in the shadows, just ready to catch it.
no, it's just a
Keep
train
them
that
coming, people. I don't want
it's
to
a,
make them myself. That'd be
oh,
weird.
it's a train that keeps going.
Yeah.
Like it keeps adding on at
Hey,
the end or beginning.
I'm sure you could drag it out for a while. As much dumb will stuff as I've done. So
Oh, that'd be funny. Yeah, dude. So things are good. I'm stoked. Is so your bike is available in any bike shop that gets
yep,
GT stuff.
they are officially shipped out and everything. If anybody has questions, hit me up directly on Instagram, whatever. I'll try my best to answer that. I'm sure your local bike shop would have some information, and I think you can go to the mail order out if you'd like, but try to
Yeah,
support the bike shop, of course, if you can. Not
yeah.
everybody can, but you know.
I'm I know that the bike shop here in the town I live in sells GTs, so I'm gonna
Sweet.
go check and see if they might have ordered one.
Well, let me know.
Yeah, I definitely will. I don't imagine they will have because they're road bike people, and they,
Oh, gotcha.
but if there is one
We're
in
not going
there,
to carry that bike. That wheel keeps falling off. We've seen him ride.
yeah, right,
Danger.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Um, I know we're getting close to your time here, so I don't wanna push it too far, but
You're
I'm
good.
I am stoked on everything that you've got going on. I think
Thanks, Brant. Always enjoy watching your creativity as well, of course.
thank you.
We need as much weirdos as we can in BMX, and you know,
We're all weirdos. It's just
we're
how
all
much of it
weirdos,
we
no
want to
matter how
show.
cool we are. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, before we run out of here, for anyone who has no idea who you are, where do they find you on the internet?
You. Most of my recent stuff will be on my Instagram. It's just Tate Roskelley. It's my username, TateRoskelley. And then a short Google search would probably bring up a lot of the YouTube videos and stuff like that. You can always go through GT, go through the 9 yard stuff. They're out there. everybody knows how to find things online now. And yeah,
Yep.
check me out if you haven't already, if you got nothing else to do.
Listen, this guy's got a blue check mark.
Doesn't everybody nowadays?
Oh, that's funny. Regardless, though, Tate has a very big library of like exactly the type of things that we've talked about and showed today. So it's worth checking out and support him if you need a bike. On that
Well, thanks,
note,
Bran.
yeah, man. I'm gonna shut off the stream here so we can use the last 5 minutes to talk about secret stuff.
Cool.
All right.
All
Thanks
right,
for
thanks
tuning
for
in,
watching,
everyone.
everybody.